guys, it's Ashley, your Scrapbook nerd, and I'm back with a layout today, and this one went on quite a journey. I'm using a bunch of stuff from my stash. I have this Distress ink in Black Soot and Distress Oxide in the Rustic Wilderness, and all these little bits and bobs. These are some chipboard from the Graphic 45, The Magic of Oz. These are all the like pamphlets and stuff from the show, and the papers are also the Graphic 45 from the Magic of Oz. And so I kind of gathered everything from the stash. I am doing pictures from the Broadway show Wicked that my mom and I went to. And so I wanted to use this Magic of Oz because I thought it would look really cute with the Wicked pictures. And I have the cut file, and it was in my stash, and I apologize, I don't know if it's who it's from, but I use Copa cut files, Pear Tree cut files, or Paige Evans one, so it's one of the three. And like I said, it went on kind of a journey. So I had that green stripe paper, and then this purple one here that says Wicked Witch of the West, and I thought it would be really cute to have it frame that green paper, and that was really the idea that I had for this layout in the beginning, and it just wasn't sitting right. So I started to work on the photos, and I had this green scraps from the scrap bin, and I just photo matted a very thin green mat behind the photos and added some of that Rustic Wilderness ink to the outside. You can't really even see the photo mat in the video here, but I just needed a little separation because I'm going to use that black, I think it's Bubbles, and it's pretty busy, and so I wanted to separate the photo from that a little bit. And so this witch was on that paper of the piece that I gutted, and I just loved her. So I cut her out, and I used some black soot on the edges of the ink, and then I used the rest of that paper on the back side, had all these like directional compasses, and so I cut all those out, and I did also put black soot ink on the edges of those, and it just kind of differentiates things when I ink them, especially if I fussy cut something out. I usually will ink it. And so here's where I just started over again. And so I took the green paper, and I'm using my Lindy's Starburst Spray and Ponderosa Pines just to add some splatter to the background. And I, again, wanted to mat the green paper in something that would separate it because I'm going to put it on that same black bubble background. And so I just have a very thin purple mat, and that purple matches those compasses and the witch and everything. And then I do ink that in the black soot and then put it on this like bubble paper. And I was going to gut this, and I completely forgot to do so. And so I feel kind of sad because I feel like I wasted some paper because I forgot to gut that black paper that I used for the back. And so here's that cut file, and I backed it with scraps from the Graphic 45 papers, and then I had this sparkly black paper in the stash that I then backed the boot with, and I had these little green like confetti, so I put those for all the buttons so that there's a shimmer to it, and I really like how that looked. And it had like a bow, but I didn't think the bow really was kind of a witch boot, so I used one of those compasses and this chipboard piece that says Wicked to cover up where that bow was going. And so I really like how this layout looks, but it didn't leave room for my pamphlet and my ticket for the show. So I'm going to make a second page, but it's going to be a 6x12, and I'm going to put this in the album next to it. And I really like the idea of having different sizes of pages in my albums. So I took the pamphlet, and I thought I was going to make a front pocket and use another photo to do so, but then I decided I was going to make the pocket in the back. So I'm going to cut a slit through this black bubble paper so that the idea is so the pamphlet will slide in there, and then in the album, if you want to look at the pamphlet, you can pull it out of the pocket and flip through it and then put it back in. So it kind of just adds this fun interactive element to it. And so I'm cutting the slit here, and I'm going to make the slit kind of a rectangle, so it's a little bit wider. It's not just going to be one cut here. And you'll see I'll have to do a second line, and then I'll connect to them, just because that way if it's wider, it'll be easier when you're trying to slide it in and out of the page protector. And I really like this idea, like I said, of having, kind of this right side be all the stuff from the show, the pamphlet, the ticket that we had, and then I also will in the end add a description of the show from the it's not ephemera that you get at the shows, but just the flyers. That's the word, flyers. And so you can see here I'm flipping it over, and I'm just marking where I want the pocket to end, where I want that pamphlet to sit on the front side. And I'm just used a craft, like a scrap that I have. This is kind of a thick craft paper, cardstock, so it won't rip if you're pulling the pamphlet in and out. And so I have a bunch of these because I use these for my wedding invitations. So I have a bunch of scraps of this thicker kind of craft paper. And so I put that on the back. I used my bone folder to kind of score pocket edges so that the pocket in the back kind of separates from that paper a little bit and adds some room for that pamphlet to slide in and out of. And I really like how that works, but I wanted a tab, and so I keep all of my kind of dividers from my happy planners, and this tab is a January tab, and the show was in January, and so I thought it just worked really good. I cut the tab out, and I'm just adhering it to the back of the pamphlet piece there. And I thought I was going to add one of those compasses to the back, but I didn't like how that looked. I thought it just didn't really add anything to it. And in the chipboard ephemera from the Magic of Oz from Graphic 45 was this green compass. And so I just added it up there, just kind of adds a little something to the tab, and then it connects that green to the right side as well. And so you see here I'm going to use that witch on the right side, and I put the ticket that I had there. And this little wicked is just something from my stash. I got it out of my Halloween pile there. And so, but I'm like, well, that works perfect. It's for Wicked. And like I said, these are photos of my mom and I when we went to the show. And the bottom left photo is a picture of the quote-unquote charcuterie board that they sold. And the funny thing is, my mom and I were dying laughing, is that, we were at this Centennial Hall at the U of A, and they don't have like a snack space. And so we only had one option for a snack, and of course we didn't eat, so it's really our fault. And so I go, okay, well, we'll get the charcuterie snack, and they tell me it's $20, and I'm like, oh, all right, fine. So we buy it, and then we get it, and it's this tiny little snack tray for $20, and my mom and I were just like, are you kidding me? So we took a picture of it. We were just laughing, and so I had to put it on this layout, and I will put that in the bottom left there where I'm fidgeting now. I will put, $20, and so it's just a fun memory, and I guess that makes the $20 3 nuts and a couple pieces of cheese and some ham and salami worth $20, right? And so I was looking at it, and I thought that right side piece didn't have enough of that green to it. And so I'm just using some scraps and adding a little mat to my ticket to get some of that green over to the right side. And I'm back over here fidgeting with the left little embellishment cluster there. I fidget with this a lot because, like I said, I wanted to put charcuterie tray, $20, make sure I got that on there, but then also add something. This layout took me a long time to do. I kept coming back to it, and I kept adding things until I decided I liked it. And unfortunately, because I'm a more is more scrapbooker, that's my solution to not liking a layout, is I just keep adding things till I like it, and sometimes it's just overloaded and it takes me a while. But I do it until I like it, and then I like it, and we're in business. And so here I just used some photo corners that I had, and I put the green one over here above the wicket, and then some more of those green, like shiny confetti around. And then I thought, you know what, let's add something to the picture. So I'm going to add a circle of this green confetti around my mom and I's picture. And so I really like how that looks, and I finally am good with it. And so thank you to everyone that's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. I am having so much fun with this channel. So again, I just really appreciate it. And here's that interactive element with the pamphlet. And you can see here that it still opens and works as a pamphlet. And you can slide it back in there. And it's just for safekeeping. And I did add that little blurb about the show. So thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.